Okay. Yeah, I do it too. I do a classic rock station. I'm on the air there, and we never left the. I never left the studios. I've always been there doing my thing. So luckily, I haven't gotten COVID. Fingers crossed, where I've had to be, forced to broadcast from home, or haven't got any of those effects that come with it. So I'm just kind of interested to see what life's like for you guys down there in Florida.
Mm-hmm. Could be so.
Sure. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Pretty much the same here too.
Did you get your taste and smell back? Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's weird. Yeah.
Don't come in.
Oh man.
Oh man.
That's
crazy.
My friend of mine has had it, and he says it's been in 2 months, and he says he still isn't 100% back with taste and smell. Yeah,
So crazy.
he's like, it's getting annoying right now.
With Ahman Green is on the air.
You need a sledgehammer? That's Batman.
The Gamers Lounge.
Tony Stark will blow up the building, and then as it's blowing up, he'll rebuild it.
It's time to press play.
Welcome to Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge. I'm your host with my co-host, my man Ben, right here to my top left that you see here on your screen, and bottom right is my man John, or Ben. I'm sorry, John. I'm over here brain farting already, malfunctioning going on. And then our guest, I say host of the day, who is very familiar in what we do, because that is part of what he does. My man Joey Franchize, man, how you doing?
What's happening? What's happening? Really happy to be here, Mon and the gang. I've been a fan of you, for a while, big sports guy. So I'm really happy to be on this show and happy to know that somebody like me, on the legendary status that you have, is interested in a lot of things that I do too. So that's cool.
Oh yeah, we've been talking about it already before we went live. And yes, some of the things that you already do, I'm on board. We're gonna be talking horror movies with Joey and his crew. And here, I don't know when, but it's going
soon.
down.
Soon.
So exactly, very soon. So for everyone tuning in here on Twitch and on iHeart Media as well, we are a podcast. We talk video games, we talk pop culture. We have a fun conversation called This or That, but we're talking esports, we're talking the trendy topics in the video game world. And then this or that, like I mentioned, we find out something, we have a good conversation, but we may find out things about one another that we may not know or maybe care to know.
Yeah, some things about you, Ahman. You get a little personal.
Hey, I keep it real, I just keep it real. I don't like to sugarcoat things. I'm going to tell it like it is. That's how I was raised. That's how my mom and dad raised me up. And then we're going to talk about the fun game releases, because we know one thing we do know, from week to week, we could get 30, 40 games coming out, or we could get two games come out, or none, 0. But this week is a few games. It's enough for us to talk about. So I got a fun game that takes me back to my childhood that involves the man, Super Mario, and one of his antagonists, and Bowser. So that's a fun game. I can't wait to talk about there. And then we got all these streaming outs out there. We have Quibi, we got Peacock, and then we have now is
Well, you got Paramount Plus.
Paramount
Yeah.
Plus.
If you watch the Super Bowl, there's no way you missed an ad for Paramount Plus. It was
Right.
all over the place.
So are they getting lazy by just putting a plus behind now?
Yes.
John.
Is that what we're doing now?
So
With
it's
apps?
Disney Plus, DC Plus. Well, DC Universe is gone now.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
tried to
all part of
upload that
HBO
app.
It's
you
all
know.
part of HBO Max.
Is it HBO
It's
Max?
all
Is that
part of
why?
HBO Max,
Oh
yeah.
man, it's like Netflix taking all
Yep.
the Marvel stuff off, but
Yep.
then obviously it's in Disney
Yeah.
Plus now because they bought it all up. Joey knows about that
Oh, yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
So so we're gonna check in real quick. So since the last episode here for Gamers Lounge, from last week been ultra uber busy. The weekend hit for me. Friday and Saturday, I was in a charity. So with Super Bowl not going on, Joey, as we talk about, where a Super Bowl was going on, but like a lot of former players like myself couldn't travel down, and because of COVID reasoning and the situations either at your current work or wherever. But so everything was a lot of virtual stuff. So I did a virtual Madden the Yard tournament, and I was able to have a couple of my esports players. I'm a head coach of esports at Lakeland University up here in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. And so a couple of my Madden players joined me, and we came in second place. We got right to the end, and it was just one of them games. It was kind of like the Chiefs offense in the Super Bowl. We just couldn't figure it out.
Couldn't get it
Couldn't move the
done.
ball. We couldn't get it done, but we came in second place. Which is now that's a good thing. And we're happy for that. Then and the players were excited about that. Then the next night, I got teamed up with my man Young Drenny from Madden Play, which you know him. He's a Madden champion. He plays in the MCS. He does salary cap, or salary draft, or MUT cap, stuff like that. And I got teamed up with him and another college kid from the HBCU community to help him win some money for a scholarship, which was did, and we did. So myself, Drini, and this young player, Easy, I think it was EP, that was his gamer tag or something close to that, something with Easy in it, and we won it. We won him about I think $2,500 scholarship.
Well, that's so cool too, because now we have our first vice president who's graduated from an HBCU.
Correct. It was
So
Kamala
cool.
Harris.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
that was a part of my Saturday, and I was so wore out because basically I started playing that Madden tournament at around 2 p.m. Central Standard Time and didn't get finished till 9 p.m. It was 7 hours of playing Madden, which is a dream for most gamers, but
That sounds awesome.
it sounds awesome. But man, I was like, I was done. I'm like talking to her and like, babe, sorry, I fell asleep on the mid conversation because it just, my brain activity at a high level for all them hours. You're making sure you're in the coverage, playing defense, making the tackle, doing the things you need to do to game out and do it right. So that was Saturday. And then Sunday obviously was watching the Super Bowl and watch that game. Amazing game. Hats off to my man TV and able to do what he's done, to go down to a whole nother team where a lot of people doubted him and what he was trying to do, and then accomplished it. And so it wasn't trying, he did it. Bring a title down to Tampa Bay with Bruce Aaron and his coaching staff, which is a fantastic job, but they did as well. Bringing that squad together, getting AB, from home, getting him out of the situation he was in, able to focus and come play football, be the football wide receiver player that he can be, getting his boy, old homie Gronkowski come out of retirement to do it, to be like, hey man, you want to play some football again? We're going to win a Super Bowl. You know that, right? That's basically, I wonder how that conversation was. Hey, we're going to win a ship. We're going to get one. And they did. So, watching that. So, and then me being who I am, and you're going to enjoy this, Joey. I'm not sure if you're into this along with the other stuff. We have a lot in common, but if you do Legos, I'm a Lego guy too.
Oh, dude, I just built an Iron Man like Lego head like back here somewhere.
It's destined.
Get
It's
that
destiny.
Lego.
It is
It's
destiny.
recently.
I love it. Where is it at? Oh, yes. I've seen those. I got
Hold
my
on, man.
Lego VIP
Unplug
card.
my
Hold up.
headphones. Yeah.
I'm about to pull out.
Juan's
Yeah,
getting
man.
his VIP franchise got that Iron Man.
Yep. So what I did at the Super Bowl, guys.
You two, I think,
I
are
went-
somehow related.
I
Another
went-
life.
This was meant to happen.
So there you go. Lego VIP card. Bam. Now this is real. This is not a figment of your imagination. You're not in the hex, as my man Joey is talking about WandaVision. We're not in a dimension. This is real. You a Lego person, you have one of these.
Nice.
So after Super Bowl, I started my Ecto 1 Lego set. So from Ghostbusters, the original, I got it for Christmas a few months ago now. And yeah, this started the chassis, building out the chassis with the tires and everything for Ecto 1, the white and red with the Ghostbuster, no Ghostbuster symbol on the side. So I just started that. So that was my last week since the last episode. So Ben, John, what's up with y'all?
Well, for me, Friday, I just happened to be scrolling through TV, seeing what was going on, and it just happened to be the Madden NFL Championship 21. So it was Pavin versus Jay Wall, and it came down right to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Wall ended up winning, but I'm watching this, and anybody who has ever listened to our podcast before, who knows what we do, John and I are sort of getting back into this gaming world. So as I'm watching this, a number of questions came to mind, but the number one question I wanted to ask you was, I'm hearing the guys do the play-by-play, at least that's what we would call it in a traditional sports broadcast, but I know it's shoutcasting.
Yeah, and it's the esports world. It's called shoutcast.
In the esports world, it's called shoutcasting. So both the players, Jay Wall and Pavin, they had on headphones. What are they listening to? Because they were not listening to the shoutcasters, because these two guys were over the top, yelling, doing their thing.
They're a shoutcaster.
There's no way you could concentrate on what you're trying to do while listening to those people.
They are probably listening to whatever, rapper, singer, or their music genre they like to listen to, or they might be in complete silence.
Okay.
They might have noise cancellation in headphones, or they might have their earbuds, their Apple earbuds, listening to some.
Could they be listening to the game?
Potentially.
Like the audio in the game?
The actual game
maybe,
commentary. Sure. They could be listening to that.
Sure.
Or like for me, I like to listen to K-Dot, Digital Bar, some J. Cole while I'm gaming out. So they do that because obviously it keeps them focused into the Madden game when they're playing.
Sure.
They got to be hyper-focused.
Sure. And then also over the weekend, my router took a crap. So we got a new router.
Nice.
Now, something that I totally forgot because it'd been a while since I got a router. Part of the fun of getting a new router is creating that Wi-Fi name.
Oh,
just kicking around some cool ideas. So right now we're big into streaming the classic show, improv show with Drew Carey, Wayne Brady. Whose line is it anyway?
Oh, yeah.
So our Wi-Fi name is Whose Wi-Fi is it anyway? That's pretty good, right?
That's not bad. That's not bad.
It's pretty clever.
It's clever. So Joey, check this out. We Discord. You've been in there. If you have a Discord name, you're a gamer, Discord. So it's a communication app. My man Ben, he was clever in this name. So his name is it's not, you see it on the screen there, JANDT, but it's pronounced Yant.
Yant.
So his Discord name is Beyonce. And that was clever. Beyonce. I was like, oh.
But you did that.
I like that.
And was it? I couldn't remember, but I did. It was a conversation.
You came up with that one.
And then you totally forgot you came up with it.
I totally forgot.
I'll take all the credit.
Football, 12 years, It is what it is.
Taking a few shots to that.
That's a lit name. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So for me, I my big weekend was the Super Bowl, man. Just watching the Super Bowl, watching the commercials. I don't know what you guys thought about halftime. I was expecting like some special guest to come out or something like that. I was kind of disappointed about the halftime show.
I was bored. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
What
do you think of it, Joey?
Like I liked the weekend too.
Yeah.
I thought Drake would have came out. I thought it would have been crazy if Drake came out. They did this whole Toronto, thing, Canada thing, during that performance. But
he would have gotten ripped because isn't the whole thing about Drake? He loves the spotlight. He loves to be front and center, kind of a front runner, if you will. Just imagine all the hate Drake would have got.
That's true. And I think, at this point, I think Weeknd's music is a lot more, caters to a different audience than Drake does. But I mean, I needed something. I felt like it ended too quick. I thought it was cool for what it was, but I thought there could have been way more to it. Like I literally, as soon as he was done, I was like, that's it. I feel like he was just warming up.
Yeah, I don't think you're the only one, Joey. I was like, okay, that was the halftime show, I guess, for this year. The commercials, the one commercial that I don't know if it's brilliant or not, but I hated it. Was the CEO of that oat milk.
Yes.
And he just started singing.
He's on his little keyboard.
I yelled at my TV. I wanted to swear at my TV. I said, that's the stupidest commercial I've ever flipping seen. But the bottom line is, I know what it was for, though.
Right.
And you're still talking about it.
And I'm still talking about it. So
Boom.
is it
did
stupid
his job
or not? I don't know. So
what was it, a 30 second, 45 second spot?
30-second spot, yeah.
So that was probably, at least 5 million?
5 million, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So he put 5 million down.
And I'm just giving it for free.
Exactly. He's still talking about it. So it did its job.
I guess so.
I like the one. It was funny. And this one progressed. This one had a skip to storyline, or had an arc going was the Alexa with Michael B. Jordan.
Oh yeah.
And the wife and the husband, where the wife was, I couldn't tell if she was hallucinating or if he was really like, obviously for production's sake, he was really standing there.
Yeah.
But for the husband, could the husband see Michael B. Jordan? Is
I
my
think
question.
so. I think so.
Well, I asked him too, why were his eyes so blue?
I totally missed that.
That's all I could focus on. Is his eyes were like a really light or dark shade of blue, whatever it was. And I'm like, I'm totally missing what this commercial's about. I'm just staring at those eyes.
Is it because like when you talk to Alexa, it lights up and like maybe his eyes are
Maybe.
You just got it.
Maybe it's the little
It's the
blue
ring.
thing that spins around when you ask Alexa
that was
a
pretty
question or
It's
two.
such a good call.
So,
Yeah.
so Joey,
Yeah.
what about you? Check in. I know.
Well, hold
you
on.
were- Oh,
Do you have a favorite Super Bowl commercial, Joe?
oh, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Oh yeah. I mean, there was two of them. So I really liked the I think it was the Shaggy commercial with the Cheetos, the Doritos.
Yes.
Cheetos. Yep.
Yeah, that one was really good. And obviously Falcon and Winter Soldier. I can't wait for
Yeah.
that to drop.
I got so hyped. I was like, I totally froze like a 5-year-old. I was like,
Yeah. Oh, I told everybody shut up in the room. I said, shut up. Falcon Winter Soldier's on right
I was
now.
like, baby, all right, quiet. I was like, baby, it was me and my wife, baby, hold on. Falcon, Winter Soldier. Shit. Okay, I got to see all the details, Easter eggs, because you
All
know,
that.
movies, comic book TV shows, comic book commercials, they drop in the Easter eggs that to the detailed viewer. If you miss it, you're gonna rewind it back. And how many did people thought about rewinding back the John Cena commercial to win $1 million? Did you stop your stream and try to rewind and count up
No.
the bottles?
Nope.
No.
I thought
Nah.
about it, but I was like, nah. it
Oh,
ain't.
come on. You don't need $1 million. You play
I was like,
the
nah.
NFL.
Hey, I felt as a competition. It was a competition brewing.
That's funny because I went back and I saw Mountain Dew's Twitter on that, and just they had at that point 57,000 replies.
Wow.
To their tweet. Like I've never seen
Genius.
that many replies
That
on a
was
tweet. ever.
genius commercial.
Yeah.
So count the bottles as they came out of the trunk of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Most people probably don't stream, so you can't rewind it. Like I almost did it because we streaming, but I'm like, I don't want to miss the game.
Right.
But I was like, I was like, no, I'm good. Oh man, so we're gonna get into my man. So Joey, all right, we got hip hop DJ. This is the big intro now. Hip hop
here we go.
DJ. We got Sneakerhead, which I'm reading all this. I'm like, man, this is my brother from another mother right here. Gamer, getting into gaming and streaming as well. And then along with the sneakerhead, the fashionista being in that world. So my man Joey Franchize, welcome to the show. And so, as in the essence of comic books that we know, tell us your origin story of where you started and then where you are now in your life of being a DJ and being the person that you are.
Just Spanish kid from Connecticut. Grew up loving sports. Grew up loving music. Realized that I wasn't going to make it to the NBA by the time I was like in high school because I didn't grow. I was about like 5'5", 5'4", somewhere around there. So I was like, all right, I need to come up with a plan B. So music has always been my passion. It was eclectic. I grew up in an eclectic household, so I all types of music was around me, and I couldn't write music. The only thing I could really play was turntables, just because I had already a knowledge of how to play certain records and how to cater to certain crowds at a young age. After that, going into college, I'm like, how do I utilize this? How do I make a career out of it? How do I, you take the next level? What's the next step after this? I was really confused at that time. And, my sister really kind of put that battery in my back and said, hey, you should reach out to somebody, from our local radio station. And during my prom, I remember talking to one of the guys that was, he did middays at our old station. And, he's DJing my prom. And I legit left my prom date to like have a conversation with him when he wasn't like, he wasn't on his set yet. So I'm just picking his brain, talking to him. Fast forward, I go to college out in Springfield, Mass at American International. I link up with a guy who was affiliated with the station as well that he connected me with, did some college radio, and that led to me doing being on the promo team for my local radio station, and eventually like kind of building up the resume to the point where I got on, afternoon show as a producer to a morning show host, and it led me here to Florida. I've been here for 5 years, so I can say it's a blessing. It's a dream come true. It's almost like our draft night. I think when I got that call to come down here to Florida, because I wasn't really full time already. I was really just grinding it out. I was DJing, clubs. I was doing, I DJed for UConn Huskies basketball and football for like 5 years or so. In that process of me being in Connecticut, and I made this move. I got this phone call, say, "Hey, we want to offer you full time here down in Tampa," and I hit the ground running, and I took that opportunity.
Okay, that's outstanding. So you were up in Connecticut. So how was it? I don't know if you ever bump shoulders with him, but Gino Armoram, or was it Oriyama, the head coach for the UConn ladies team.
Yeah.
Did you ever come across him? And then did he say, hey, Joey, can you play this? Did you ever do one of those?
And he never came up to me to ask to request anything, but a lot of the girls did. So like Brianna Stewart, I knew, Kia Nurse. They would always Kia Nurse was a big Rihanna fan, so I made sure I had Rihanna in my sets whenever they were practicing or pregame stuff. I forgot the assistant head coach at the time, but she was a huge fan of me too. She would always come up and show love and say, "Hey, you rocking, throw if you could throw this in, So they were really into it, and I had a great relationship with a lot of the staff there. I met Gino a few times too. Gino's a great guy, man. Really stand-up guy, real humble dude. But man, when you see him on their court and you see him with the girls at practice, them girls, they don't they don't play against other girls during practice. They play dudes. They play the practice squad from the men's team. It's insane.
I like that.
And these girls they are bullying these dudes. So it was it was a surreal it was surreal to watch.
Oh man, wow, that's awesome right there.
Yeah,
I see him do interviews, and he don't sugarcoat nothing.
No,
and he tell it like it is. I know I just saw something recently, an interview where the reporter asked him about it was either a loss or what his a player should do in a certain situation. And the way I can't remember verbatim, I'll just say he said what was on his mind and how he would coach that player up in that situation. And he didn't, like I said, he did not sugarcoat it, and it was like, okay, yeah, straight to the point. I get you.
Yeah. So gaming, Joey, you're now on Twitch, as we've talked about a little bit. What kind of first got you into that? Are you a PC console kind of guy? You do both? What's your story when it comes to gaming?
When it comes to gaming, I've always been a fan of video games since a kid, and now to see the industry flourish pretty much day by day at this point, I figured it's something it gives me another platform and to kind of showcase not only my knowledge of what I know from the music end of things and comic book movie stuff, but also my knowledge of actually video games. I'm a big NBA 2K guy, love playing Madden. I'm a PS5, I'm a PlayStation guy. So I was Xbox, then I went back to PlayStation. So I'm on the PS5 right now, rocking all that, and I eventually want to get into PC because I've talked to a lot of friends who are big gamers. Shout out to Larry 2K from Cavs Legion, from the 2K League. Also, I was did an interview a little while ago with Lil Yachty, and he was just kind of breaking down to me like, "Hey, you need to switch over to PC now. You can do so much with it. Stop playing around, get off the console." He's like, "I don't do that no more."
There's a word I'm coining now. Be game lingual.
Game lingual.
Like bilingual, okay. Game lingual. That means play everything. I play Switch. I play both consoles. I have a PC now. I have a gaming PC now. Because it's a thing. I don't know if you've been into the actual cons, the video game cons like E3 or DreamHack. And the guys and the ladies that play PC, man, they actually have a phrase called the PC Master Race, just so you know, if you haven't heard that. They is real about their PC. I heard that. I was like, hold on. Why you gotta bring conflict into gaming, man? Come on. Keep it fun, keep it fresh. They said now, man, it's way better on PC. It's faster graphics, which I agree with. Yeah. But console is console. Xbox, PlayStation. So my journey, similar to yours, I was a PlayStation guy. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. And then one of my brothers from high school or from college, actually not far from where you grew up, he was actually from Waterbury, Connecticut.
Oh, word.
Went to Waterbury school. He went to Nebraska with me, played linebacker, Tony Ortiz. So one year, I'm in the league. I'm at Green Bay. We just missed the playoffs by a couple games. And I do this. I go to Super Bowl. I do this Microsoft event. They give me the first Xbox, the big one. And to me, I'm PlayStation. I'm like, all right, thanks, P. I appreciate it. Thank you for this new Xbox, but I'm a PlayStation guy. So I go home, I'm playing on my PlayStation as usual, Hitman and Grand Theft Auto. And then finally, my boy hit me up. Hey, G, man, what's up? Because we were the ones that would go back and forth in college on Tekken. He would beat me up all the time. And he goes, hey, man, you heard about the new Xbox. Have you copped it yet? I'm like, nah. I'm like, actually, I got a box here from an event I did back a couple months. He said, dude, open it. Check it out. I'm like, all right, it's my boy from school. He's a gamer too. So if he's saying check it out, I'm going to check it out. So I opened that box. I didn't went to the dark side, as they say at that time. I was an Xbox guy. It was Halo that sucked me in. Halo 1, played the campaign. It was the first and only shooter that I'm pretty good at today, and that's what got me over. So kind of similar to your PlayStation story, how it got you, from Xbox to switching over. So I just wanted that, got that nice little relation there.
Well, my whole thing is like gaming on a console. I got my controller. I'm so used to that. That's really all I've ever done. I got friends that game on the PC. I don't know if I could ever get used to playing on a keyboard and different buttons, and I don't know if I could do it.
Ben, I think that sounds confusing.
Yeah, it's a retraining of the brain. Some games are easier than others. Like I've been with my team, I've been going in some League of Legends, and that one's a little bit easier to play keyboard and mouse. But then when you're going from shooter to like I'm a shooter and controller guy, so Call of Duty, Halo, Overwatch, but then I'm going keyboard and mouse in those same games. Oh my God. It's like I'm trying to learn how to ride a bike again. I was like, this ain't working. I'm getting murked. I'm like, I'm not, my KDA is negative 18. I'm me bail out. I'm not helping y'all, right?
They started calling you target practice.
They call me target practice, dog. GoldenEye, when GoldenEye came out way back in the day, my boy Tony, another couple of my teammates were murking me. I was TP. I was target practice. So I got over that though, So, man, another thing, like I said, we brother, like we brother from another mother right here. So sneakerhead life. I know this. You know it very well. So what is your favorite pair of sneaks out there, and what is the dream pair that you looking to the cop one day?
That's actually a really good question because I have so many. Like, I know I'm a big Nike SB guy. I was in college, and now the hype is real with the Nike SBs these days. But I would have to say, like, my favorite sneaker to rock right now are the Travis Scott ones, the Travis Scott Jordan ones, the low top ones. I just feel like they're so clean, like the low tops, like, I kind of have, my jeans riding hot, a little high water kind of action on the leg, you show off the socks a little bit. So it's just a clean look.
Show the shoe.
Yeah, show the shoe. So that right now is like my favorite, like day-to-day shoe to rock. And because I'm a big Jordan 1 silhouette guy, any Jordan 1 silhouette is my favorite, pretty much. Well, because it's one of those sneakers that you can beat up and it still looks good, almost like a Converse All-Star. So
yeah,
sure. I would say so. My favorite right now, my favorite one right now, Travis Scott 1 lows. But my, obviously the dream shoe I think is a lot of people's mind, especially after watching Back to the Future, the Nike Air Mag with the with the auto lacing. So it's hard to like not put that in your dream shoe category because it's such an iconic shoe.
Y'all know what he's talking about, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Yes, indeed. But that's a mortgage.
Oh, yeah.
How much are those going for?
As a college,
that's a mortgage.
That's my daughter's college fund right there.
Oh, man.
It's a lot of money, John. You could check it out. Google it. You'll find out here.
I'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So you kind of nailed it already. You kind of said what brand. You said the AJ. So Nike. So Nike's your brand that you usually rock with.
Yeah, and occasionally Adidas. I like Nike, more Nike than Adidas, but I do rock Adidas. I do rock New Balance. New Balance is actually like low key one of my, like if I need comfort, I'm walking around all day, I'm standing around all day, I'm rocking New Balance.
Yeah.
How about the Steph Curry's with Under Armour? Are you a fan of those?
Yo, actually, it's funny because I was just at the Under Armour outlet and I looked at the shoe yesterday and I'm like, yeah, it's not a bad shoe. And honestly, I want to get back into playing ball again, like, recreationally. Like, and that's actually a shoe I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind rocking to just ball in.
All right. So you said Adidas, so I got something for you later on in the show.
Uh-oh.
That Adidas is out. They collabing with people, or with a company. I'll say that. So, culture, your Geek Culture Congress podcast that you do with your guy there, which is, like I said, again, right up my alley. Talking comic books, explaining story arcs of different comic book lines. So, how big of the comic book world is it for yourself?
For me lately, I've been sporadically trying to dive in some House of M stuff for X-Men.
Mm.
That's as of right now, just because like my schedule is so crazy. So every time I get a chance, we have a really nice comic book shop called Emerald City out here in Clearwater. So if you're ever in Florida, definitely pull up on it. It's like a warehouse. It's a nerd's dream. Like it's it's like my dream house. Yeah. Like everything that I need in there, like from all this memorabilia, like all the crazy toys. But yeah, House of M is what I've kind of been diving into a little bit, especially with like WandaVision and stuff like that happening. But like, yeah, just that, and mostly Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man comics. I love Batman comics. And actually, I've been reading some more like Joker standalone comics as well.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. DC Universe is trying to bounce back, in my opinion, but they've done a good job with some of the stories like Joker from the movie to the book, transferring it over.
Yeah. So have comic books always been like a big part of your life, Joey, or is that something that you've recently gotten into? Because I've always thought like comic books haven't been a big part of my life, but I've had friends that are like that's their thing. But that started at such a young age. Like I've jumped into Marvel thanks to the movies, and then I've gone back and I've read through the comic books just so I can kind of have a better backstory or origin story, if you will, going into those movies. But have comic books always been your thing, part of your life?
Yeah, even like when I'm being a kid and watching my dad get the newspaper, like I had him give me the comic section all the time, and I would specifically look for the Spider-Man comic book. I forgot what newspaper had the Spider-Man comic book specifically in the paper. They actually had the strips, but ever since then, like I would always go with my dad. My dad was big in going to this one spot in Connecticut. And they had a crazy, like you just cop his, like he's into horse racing, so he'd cop all his like horse racing forms and magazines and things like that, and they'd have this crazy comic book selection. So every time he was going, I knew I was going to get a comic that day, because he would always ask me, hey, what do you want? And I'm always selecting X-Men comics, Spider-Man, anything Batman. So I was really invested at a young age, and just seeing now how big that culture is, and how it's transcending into these movies and these great story arcs that we're seeing visually. Man, it's just so awesome, man. And I'm just happy to be super invested at that young age.
Yep.
You'll appreciate this story then. So when I was a kid, my buddy and I, one of my neighbors, in her basement, she was an older woman, but she had like all the stuff from her kids, right, in the basement. And we were like, hey, can we go look at the stuff? She's like, sure, go ahead. So we're in this, my neighbor's basement. We're looking through stuff. We find boxes of comic books. And my buddy was a bigger comic book guy than I was. I was more into baseball cards and stuff. And we find Spider-Man #2. And he's like, hey, this is like the #2 Spider-Man. This is a big deal. We find like one of the first X-Men comics too.
Yeah.
We tell her about it, but it's just so cool to be like, there's a Spider-Man #2. So kind of like when you talk about your dream pair of sneakers, is there like a dream comic that you have that you'd be like, man, that'd be great just to have, just to look at?
Yeah, actually, it was the was Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Fantasy #15 with the first appearance of Spider-Man, that iconic him, just holding on to the guy and swinging from the building. I think that would be mine. I want to eventually. I mean, I know that's kind of up there with the the Air Mag kind of price range for the Nikes. But yeah, that's honestly one of those comics that I would definitely love to have and just, store away somewhere and just, have perfect, like a great memorabilia piece. also not only that, just also like the
Yeah.
first appearance of Batman. Anything like first appearance, and I know those are like the really expensive one, but I'm a very expensive taste kind of guy, anyways. So those two I would love to have someday.
Yeah, man, you definitely speaking my language there in DC universe. I'm a Batman guy. I have Batman tattoo on my left leg here. It was 1989 that basically solidified my Batman follower. Being a Batman follower, it was when the Tim Burton Batman with Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Kim Basinger. When that dropped, I was 12 years old. Went to the movie by myself, and I was already watching Adam West and the old TV series from the 60s. I was always watching that all the time, Saturday mornings or after school. And when that movie hit, it was done. I was like, Batman for life. He doesn't, he's human. He takes a hit. He gets up. He beats you up. He works out, and he just had that demeanor about him. He's always cool, calm, collective. As they say, he's the greatest detective in the world. And that was like, for me, what basically took it home was the fact that he was basically human among all the superheroes that's part of the Justice League that are in there. Like similar to Tony Stark in Marvel universe. He's the one human there that is doing extraordinary things because he has a lot of money.
Yeah,
and he can do that. He can fight crime and I say just dodge death from time to time dealing with the villains out there, man.
Yeah, and John or Ahman, whoever brought up the name of that podcast, you're involved with Geek Culture Congress. So give us kind of a little taste of what that's all about, because with the title like Geek Culture Congress, you guys and gals could be touching on a lot of topics with that kind of a title.
Bro, and we do. And it's dope that we have the group of guys that we have. So shout out to Speedy, who's on the podcast with us, also Tarek. They're just we all have our niche. And I think with mine it's more focused on like a lot of DC, Marvel, from the comics, and understanding the some of the Easter eggs that we see in the movies and TV shows that pay homage to those to those story arcs in the comics. And you got guys like Speedy, who's he's into like magic cards, and he's talking about it's so broad, and there's no limit to what we talk about at this point. And we learned a lot so much from each other.
Yeah, and that's kind of like us. We come from so many different backgrounds. We all have our different interests and stuff.
Yeah,
we learn so much about each other every episode. But I think, Ahman, you were bringing up, you guys touch on D&D too during that podcast. Is that somebody's main focus? They love that.
I think that was Speedy. Right.
Yeah, it's Speedy. Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
Yeah. So Pop, doing our homework on you, and we talking about your last episode on Geek Culture Congress. Y'all breaking down episode 5, WandaVision. Now we on the Gamers Lounge, we've talked about we're gonna probably eventually just do a whole episode on
like
the whole season of WandaVision.
Ever since it started,
because all the Easter eggs, all the innuendos, all the possibles and the what ifs that's going on in every episode, even back with Mandalorian too, when that dropped. So episode 5 kind of listening in a little bit of breaking down that WandaVision. So you and Speedy had a good time there, eh?
Oh, amazing, man. I think this is by far the craziest episode we've seen. So I feel like we're saying that every week. Like, this is the craziest episode I've seen. But this one shocked everybody, especially if were a fan of Marvel movies prior to the MCU, or when Fox didn't give up the rights to Marvel Studios for their projects. So that all ties the thing. I don't want to spoil too much for the viewers that haven't seen it yet, but I'm telling you, everything is about to be connected, and we're about to really find out in the coming episodes.
Yeah, I was really worried when this whole thing started, because the first episode, even into the second episode, it was a little slow going here to sort of start to wrap my mind around what was going to happen throughout the series. But it has really picked up in a hurry.
I really like it now. I was like with Ben, I was like, okay, what are we doing? Let's get this going. Gave it time, and then they start connecting the dots a little bit more. And you're right, man. It's pretty crazy. It's fun to see this thing keep going. And I was just so excited when I was listening to your podcast. I'm like, oh, cool. Somebody else is talking about this. This is awesome. I get to hear what other people have to say about it. And I thought that was really neat.
Yeah. So Joey, you mentioned, so between WandaVision and connecting the dot there is that Marvel Universe or Marvel Studios is doing. So from post in game to now, how do you like how Marvel Studios put all that together? Because we know DC even though I'm a DC guy, I'm like they kind of dropped the ball on bringing Justice League and the storyline behind all the characters behind that. So how do you like how Marvel Studios has done it post in game?
So far, I think they've done a really good job. I was really kind of worried in a sense. I say that with a very grain of salt. That I trust them at this point to kind of handle these life after Iron Man and Captain America. But I mean, I heard they're bringing Captain America back now, so who knows? Like now, like the writing, there's no limit to what they can write right now, and I love it because they've made these characters believable to the point where I feel like an Iron Man can exist. Oh, there's probably really a Thanos up in the cosmos somewhere. They wrote the story so good that it's believable. So now I think they're about to flip the script and really just get real comic booky and just tell some really great stories. And I think WandaVision was the good, the trial for everybody to kind of get, all right, this is what we're doing. We're creating this weird anomaly where she just rewrites her own world pretty much in this little town. And we're just, along with the characters in the show, are figuring it out as we go. So it's just great storytelling. I think Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios really got a good grip on what they're doing. And at this point, I mean, shut up and take my money.
Exactly. That's what I said. Take it. Here's my wallet.
Yeah.
Boom.
I will say something is that I feel like the advent of all these new streaming platforms have really, helped shows like WandaVision and eventually the Falcon and Winter Soldier series come to life, because where else would have this stuff aired? Because they're not going to do this in prime time on an ABC, CBS, whatever. So thank goodness for the advent of these streaming platforms. Otherwise, we may not get this.
And that's one of the very few good things from 2020.
Yeah,
where you had to stay home. You had to figure out what to do at home or work from home. You had to do all these other things, and that was one thing. Like I said, one little silver lining of happiness.
Yeah,
for all the people that watch TV, if it's comic book movies or not, watch TVs and movies that was populated everywhere.
Right.
I
just wish that we would that we would get more episodes. Like WandaVision's 9. The Falcon and Winter Soldier is only going to be 6 episodes. Like, is that because they have so many spin-off series with these different characters? They want to, allow themselves enough time to work on them or whatever it may be. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I totally, I think that's really what it is. Because, they made their announcement at their investors meeting, which is really dope. What they do is they show all the fans what they got cooking up. So all the Disney Plus shows that they've announced that are going to be in the next 2 years, it's wild. So it's dope. And the fact that this year we're literally getting a Marvel content every Friday, pretty much. I think there's going to be a week where there's going to be a gap between WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, but we're pretty much getting Marvel content every week. So, I mean, and it's just going to keep rolling into the next episode. So after Falcon Winter Soldier, we're going to get Loki. After Loki, it's going to be, I think, Miss Marvel. And let's just keep going on. And then you got the movies that come in, when we get back into theaters that just pop up. So I'm a kid in the candy store right now.
Man.
I'm right behind you.
Yeah.
No, you're
taking
right.
the lollipops and everything.
I like it the way you set that up, because it's going to be, you're kind of disappointed that we don't get more, and I'm with you. We don't get more, but at least they're giving us a taste. Like every month and 2 months, you got something new, and the next one's on the line. That's fantastic. I actually like the way that you have to wait for episodes, because
no, I don't like that.
I like it because otherwise you just you binge watch the whole thing, and then you're like, well, now what do I do?
But isn't that the point of streaming? 1 day. But isn't that the point of streaming platforms, to give me that option?
Yeah, but this
I'm not self-disciplined enough to space it out.
Like in a year from now, go ahead and binge watch whatever. Yeah.
Well, if you binge watched it, then it's like, all right, well, there's nothing else I like on Disney Plus. Let me cancel my subscription now and wait till the next series pops up. So it's really just keeping you latched on.
Smart.
Yeah.
They get a whole week of Geek Culture Congress talking about it too. I mean, that's
That's
us.
fair, but they're the only streaming platform doing that, unless I'm wrong. Netflix, every new series you get everything at
Yeah.
once. HBO Max, same way.
It's Disney though. What do
No,
we know
it's
about Disney? Just think about it. They're all over the world.
Mhm.
They know the demographic they go after, which is young kids, and then the kids go after the mom and dad. Can I have this? Can I have
I
that?
love it.
'Cause
Just
I
like
was that kid.
Yeah. I
you
love
know?
I
So they
just
know
like,
what they're doing.
just like Amazon Prime Video made us wait for The Boys every week.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay. I
Okay.
kind of like it. I see your point, but I kind of like it.
Right.
Inside the Twitch chat, shout out to Big B 5535. I know
Oh, the
you know
regular.
him.
He's a
You know
regular.
that guy, but he's really excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier. He's loving WandaVision as well. Hoodie Ninja, Q2. She likes, or he, I don't know, he or she, but
Yeah,
they
we
like
can't
to
tell.
build it up and watch them all at once.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're kind of like, they're with me on this.
So they're
Yeah.
waiting it out. They're waiting until they
Yeah, usual
all.
suspects in the Twitch
Okay.
chat there.
Mhm.
So
But now if you gave it all to them at once,
right.
they'd be happy like me.
But I'm with Joe here.
Okay.
You gotta
Take your
take
guest
your
side. All
time,
right.
really. So we're gonna switch gears. Last few questions here from my man Joey. So, man, you a DJ, okay? DJ. I know what that means. Ben and John know what that means. So you worked along with the likes of K Dot, my man K Dot, Kendrick Lamar. I grew up in Los Angeles. He was down in Compton. He wasn't far away. Big Sean, Detroit native, J. Cole, and then Machine Gun Kelly. So what was it like dealing with any one of those, and you got any stories to tell, fun stories that you can share here on
PG
the-
stories. PG
yeah,
stories.
here on the podcast?
They're PG stories. There's nothing too crazy. I've opened up and DJ'd a lot of these guys' album release parties, station events that we did where we had listeners come in and get a preview of the album. But man, I gotta say, K Dot, probably very humble dude, man. Nothing bad to say about that dude. He's a legend. He's a young legend. Can't wait for him to drop another project. His team's solid too, man. Shout out to Punch. For Big, I think out of all those guys, I want to say, working with everybody equally is great. They're great interviews. I've done great times, hanging out with them, kind of showing them around. When I was in Connecticut, it's hard for everybody to come down here now in Florida because it's kind of like Connecticut was next to New York, so all the business was in New York, all the the pizzazz, the razzle dazzle, it was New York or LA. So anyway, so I think one of probably the most humble dudes I know is Big Sean, and I think Sean, over the years, man, we every time we get to connect, it's always legendary. Very spiritual dude. Definitely had moments where we just kind of broed out and shared stories, and he's talked to me about mental health and things like that, and just he's a very positive guy who's really knows how to balance his fame, but also knows how to be himself at the same time, and knows not to lose himself. And I've learned that not only through conversations with him, but also when you hear the progression in the music. Also, same thing with Machine Gun Kelly. It's always love. Actually, there is crazy stories from Machine Gun Kelly, probably unadulterated for the channel. But Machine Gun Kelly's always he's a party animal, man. He's a party guy. We've hung out. We actually did a show out here about a year or so ago, in St. Pete. And man, that was one hell of a night, man. Just kind of kicking with him. I remember he just walks the street like nothing, like regular, people. This tall ass skinny kid just walking the streets, and we're like, "Yo, Joe, let's get some pizza." And it's wild. And he's got a flock of chicks following him around. It's a wild time with this guy.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. So then I'm gonna piggyback that onto this question here. So being a DJ also, what was that one venue? Obviously, so you just shared who you already done sets with and done interviews with in terms of the actual artists. So what was that one venue that you was like, man, I'm here, I'm DJing this place? What was that place for you when you had the opportunity to do it?
Man, that's so crazy. It's a really good question because I've actually traveled all over the U.S. and I want to say being able to rock at the Hard Rock in Chicago. I think that was probably one of the best venues I gotta tell you, actually any of the Hard Rocks. I did a Hard Rock in Chicago, Hard Rock in New Orleans. And I want to say those two were like really epic shows that we did. When I used to DJ for Chris Webby, we were on tour with Tech Nine. So, we got to see a lot of, really fire venues. The Fillmore, also another epic venue. It's a really good question. It's really hard to choose, but I would have to say probably Fillmore, the Hard Rock, and I think that's those are some epic shows.
That's dope right there.
So do you have a dream venue then, or a dream event that you want to be a part of and DJ at?
A venue, wow. So listen, I love concerts, and I love watching guys like Jay-Z and like a Drake or whoever. And then they give their DJ, or I love the acts that had let their DJ, like, they take a break and let the DJ just rock the party. Shout out to my man DJ Sus1, great example. DJ from Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey will take a break and he's just doing his thing on the set, and you're just hearing the stadium just lose it, singing it word for word. For me, that venue would be Madison Square Garden. So if I had the opportunity to really kind of showcase, that's where I would want to do it.
I mean, right? Because you've made it. If you've done it in New York City, especially Madison Square Garden, you've arrived. You've done it.
Yeah. That's special. I haven't been to MSG. I've been by it a few times, but yeah, I could feel that, on different levels. For me, walking into Lambeau for the first time, and I wasn't a Packer yet. I was a Seahawk. It was my second year in the league in 1999. And I knew that it was the sixth game of the season in the 99 season. And that was the only game that really got me pumped up. I wasn't starting. I was a special teamer. I did kickoff return and punt return, punt coverage, kickoff coverage. I wasn't running the ball yet. But I knew, being a sports fan, what Lambeau Field meant to being a football player and being a sports fan. Just like Yankee Stadium means to being a sports fan or being a baseball player, what that stadium means to that world. It was like, so when I walked out the tunnel and then got on the field, I was like, yo. I'm like, yeah, I got to play good football. It's like, come out here and ball. Let's do this. It's just one of them moments, like you said, when you said MSG, I could just see your face like, MSG.
Yeah.
Because you get your turntable set up.
Yeah.
You're gonna make it lit out there.
And it's dope because, DJing for UConn, I was already accustomed to DJing in a stadium setting. So, man, and you can even go to my my Instagram at Joey Franchize. I posted a throwback Thursday of me, at the XL Center in Connecticut for the UConn women's game, sold out, and I'm playing, Living on a Prayer. And just, I cut the music off, let the crowd sing it, and just that energy, I can't explain. It's like butterflies.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. Yeah. Yes, know what you're talking about. So, wrap up this real quick. The question, and so, what's up next for you, man, in 2021 and beyond? What you got on the slate, if anything? Because I know with COVID, that's kind of halting a lot of planning of events, things of that nature. Right. But if it's anything that you got going, what is it?
Listen, man, content. And I think it's key, especially, since last year, it's been like the key to my, the future, like having enough content to kind of put out a lot of good stuff. And I want to really highlight a lot of my interests. Like, I really enjoy radio, and I think radio is a nice little window for me to kind of, take the clout, the fame of whatever I've had through radio, and kind of apply it to all these different outlets. So streaming more videos, playing my video games, talking my podcast, talk about WandaVision, Marvel, DC comics, you name it. So it's just really kind of broadening the brand and really diving in and creating all this, great content like you guys have right here with this channel. This is a great channel, and you got a platform, and I'm one of those guys that's fortunate to kind of be on here, with a legendary, player, talking, talking this talk, and so that's really my next wave, is just really to kind of dive into the streaming world and really showcase and kind of let my personality out more to the world and to a broader audience. Obviously, I interview a lot of artists. I post them a lot on my Instagram, on my YouTube page. I talk to new artists, established artists. So we're just trying to, pump as much content out as possible.
Exactly. That's what we hear from one of our head guys, Drew. Gotta get out more content. Gotta make it happen. Gotta make it happen. Yep. So in the words of more content, we have next segment coming up. John, want to take us there? This or that?
This or that.
All right. So we got some questions, some fun stuff, Joey. My man John's gonna lead it, and just listen in and give us your feedback.
As always, from the mind of Ahman Green, it's this or that. So you got to choose either this or here we go. Only allowed to wash your hair once a year, or be forced to wear socks for the rest of your life. So this or that, only get to wash your hair once a year, or you have to wear socks, like just all time, like
for the rest of your life.
Like
never take them off.
You're going swimming?
Everything.
Oh, geez.
Take a shower.
Take a shower.
Hoop.
Whatever
Socks
you do,
only.
socks is always on.
Socks.
Socks only, or just like have
you
shoes
wear
on?
shoes.
No, you got clothes on. Just
You
no
can wear
matter what,
shoes?
the socks stay on.
But you can wear shoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you change the
That's what I'm saying, your
socks.
socks stay.
Oh.
No, you don't.
Oh wow.
So they're gonna wear down and get all red.
So either way, I'm
you gotta wear.
either way I'm smelling.
Yeah.
Basically.
Man, I think I'm gonna have to. Or go ahead, Joey.
No, I'd have to go with socks. I'm not a feet person, anyways, so I would do socks. I do socks with everything: flip flops to socks, socks around the house, socks to bed. So I'll go that.
You do the thong flip flops where the sock
Nah,
is like up in the toe, in the
none
middle?
of that thongs, nah, man. We don't wear the thong. We don't wear the thong joints.
Okay.
Man, you know what? Though? You were one confident dude. If you're rocking socks with sandals, man,
Oh, all
give me
day.
credit on that, especially in
Right.
Florida.
That's a Florida thing. You ain't gonna catch that up here in the Northeast.
Man,
I mean,
it's-
in the North Central up here.
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to go with only wash my hair once a year.
Really?
My feet with socks on, I have a thing. I need a fresh pair of socks every day.
Yeah.
Just the crispness of either a brand new sock or when it comes out of the washer and dryer. I got to change my socks. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Well, I'm about to say wash my hair. I don't wash my hair that much anyway. Only when I take it down because I got braids. So when I take it down, get it braided up again. So can't wash it that much anyway. So I'm probably I do because I'm with you, Ben. My feet. Whew, a week
See, this
of
is
not
what-
washing my socks.
See, this is what we don't want to know. These are things we don't want to know.
Exactly. You don't want to be around me,
Yeah.
man. So I cannot do that to people.
I
That would
would-
be mean.
I would take the socks, but I'm like sometimes though, you just want to take socks off. You're like, I'm done with the socks on my feet. Stop touching my feet.
Right.
At least I am, because guys, I haven't cut my hair for a year. It'll be a year on February 28th.
Really?
COVID started. I'm like, I'm not cutting my hair. So it's been like a year. I could not imagine not washing this for a year. It would be, I don't even know what would happen. I wouldn't want to do that.
Right.
It's nice. You got a silky smooth thing going on there too, man. It's real silky smooth.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of got that going on right now.
Let's flip back. Pat
all right.
Riley.
Pat Riley. This or that. It's exactly like Pat Riley.
You're not Pat Riley. Stop that now.
Okay. I love this one. Would you rather step on a snake or walk into a hornet's nest? Step on a snake or walk into a hornet's nest. Who wants to start?
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go snake. Cause I feel I got enough reaction time when that thing I hear it hiss, then boom, I could bounce up my back,
All right.
back up 2-3 feet real
All right.
fast.
You're a former NFL running back.
Yeah.
I'm the average white dude, about 270 pounds. That snake is killing me. All right. I'm just being real.
So you going hornet's nest?
I'll do the hornet's nest. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm not dying from a snake here. I'm not allergic to bees or wasps.
Dang,
Oh,
that's a
man.
good point, because the snake could get you with one and then you could die if it's poisonous. But
You can suck it out.
how many stings?
Suck that thing
Get
out.
out of here with that. What are you talking about?
How many stings could you survive? Like, can hornets kill you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bees
but
get
is that
killed.
only if you're allergic, or if you like 1,000 stings? Would that
Good
just really
question.
suck?
Well, if you're allergic, for sure.
Or if you're allergic, you're
Done.
dead with
Yeah, you're
one,
done.
maybe. But so I'm gonna go with hornets, even though like 1,000, like because I'd rather try to live.
There you go.
Yeah. In my mind, I'm like Ahman. I feel like I have the reflexes of a cat and the speed of a mongoose. So
There
I
you
will
go.
step on a snake.
Oh wow.
Boom.
Okay.
Stepping on the snake. All
Yep.
right, there we go. This or that. Pictionary or hangman.
Ooh.
Game changer.
Mhm.
This is interesting. I will go first.
Okay.
I like the aspect of like drawing and having people trying to figure that out, as opposed to like just thinking of a word.
Right.
Like I like that because everybody draws differently, right? So you're like, what the hell were you trying to draw? So
Exactly.
I like that aspect of Pictionary. I'll go with Pictionary.
Okay.
I think that hangman is just so much easier to play, like wherever you are. Like sometimes if I'm, waiting at a table for my food to get there, I'm out to eat, whatever. I'll just flip over the menu and we'll draw a little hangman.
Yeah.
There you go.
Pictionary, I think, is kind of more difficult to do, maybe. But
Yeah, get more ideas.
Yeah.
Joey, what you got?
I think I'm gonna go hangman. I think there's a lot of cheat codes in hangman. Like if you keep messing up the word, you can draw like a T-shirt on the dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can add more things to your hangman.
Yeah. I'm gonna go hangman as well because I cannot draw.
Same.
That's one talent I did not grow up doing. I'm kind of with you, Joey. There, look, I know where my lane is, so I'm gonna go hangman.
stay in your lane.
All right, there we go. Next, this or that is a soft bed or a hard bed. No in between.
Ooh,
Mm.
I should have put in between on here.
In between's the real answer.
Oh,
Yeah, is it though?
I would have to say I'm gonna take this one first. I'll start. I'm gonna go hard bet.
Okay, so
I like a hard bet.
I got a follow-up question for you. Has that changed
Yeah.
since you stopped taking the pounding on the gridiron? Because to me, I would think after taking the pounding and the gridiron, the aches and the pains, you may want a firmer bed.
No. It's just I'm being on them trips. We're traveling 8 weekends for 6 months, and this was for 12 years, and then college football too for 3 years. I got used to bad hotels to the beds, so I was like soft, hard, medium, or not. It's just like all right. So it was like hard. It's kind of my preference, but it really doesn't matter. That's why I go. I could do a hard bed.
I like a really
One
soft
pillow
bed.
though. One pillow. I could only do one pillow. I can't do all them out in the pillow.
The hotels have way too many pillows.
Yeah.
Way
yeah,
too many pillows.
Yeah, I'll go with you there. But I like the soft bed and 2 pillows. 2.
Yes.
Count them 1, 2.
I'm gonna go soft bed. Joey.
I think I'm gonna go soft, man. I'm that guy that can literally sleep anywhere. I can sleep on the floor and be straight. But man, my girl I don't know what mattress my girl got us, but that thing is like a cloud. So
It's magic.
I'm gonna go. It changed my life.
Nice.
All
Next, this or
right.
that. Doug or Wild Thornberries? We're talking cartoons.
Yeah,
I mean,
Nickelodeon
Nickelodeon
cartoons.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So who
What you
wants-
got, Joey? We're gonna start off with our guest
Definitely, Doug. Got to rock with my man Quail Man.
There you go.
There you go,
I
Doug
told you,
all
man.
day.
This brother meet Doug too.
Yeah.
Doug, and he had his little dog. I can't remember the dog name, but he had his pooch with him. Doug all day, man.
I'm going to go Doug Funny as well, only because I literally had a high school classmate that looked exactly
No
like
way.
Doug Funny.
Wow.
That's, we called him Doug. It wasn't even the dude's name.
Would he
Oh.
allow you to post his picture online? Can we see it?
Ooh.
Are you good friends with him?
I haven't talked to him since
Oh,
we
okay.
graduated.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go with Doug. I'm gonna trust you guys here. Pork chop? Does that sound correct?
Yeah,
Pork
such a-
chop.
Oh,
Yeah.
pork chop, yes.
And
Okay.
Patty Mayonnaise.
Patty mayonnaise.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Patty Mayonnaise. That's a girl right there.
Yep.
Yes, sir. That's my girl.
That is so funny.
Oh.
This or that. Resident Evil or Left for Dead?
Mm.
Oh, definitely Resident Evil, man.
Ooh.
Definitely Resident. Are we talking video games or movies? Oh wait, well, it's video games because they didn't make
No,
Left 4 Dead.
it's video game. You Left for Dead.
Resident Evil. Resident Evil 2 to be exact.
Okay. I'm
if,
Resident.
if we could choose a number.
Right.
Boom.
I'm with him. Resident Evil as
Me
well.
too. Me
I
too.
love actually the last one, Biohazard. That was
That
a
was
fun
fire. Yeah, that was good.
one. That was a fun one. And it had the AR too. I played the AR on PlayStation.
Oh.
That messed you up, man. That would mess you up.
I'll go Resident Evil as well, guys. This or that. Final this or that for today. Solo player game or a team-based game?
Ooh, there's a lot of qualifiers there, Ahman.
There is. That's why I throw it up there.
Who's on my team?
If
they can't hang, then I'm a single player.
We got Joey thinking. He's thinking about it.
I like team-based.
You better make sure you have a good squad.
The Rocket League, that's right up your alley.
Yeah.
You love in Rocket League right now.
Yeah,
right.
I would to say, for me, it's like a mood thing. If I'm in the mood, then I'm gonna jump on COD and hit my guys up, my usual, or Halo. There's a few Halo guys that I play with. But then like my Sundays is that solo day game. Like I'll get into that, trying to play Cyberpunk, trying to work through the glitches, or Last of Us Part 2. When I just want to grind it on my own, that's when I pick an RPG. So I'm like in between, so that's not the answer. But I'll go team-based games. I'll go there.
John Audius.
Team.
Got it. Joey?
I'm going to go team because I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty Warzone lately, and I've actually found a nice squad to really, run around with. So I'll ride with the team.
Yeah. Find a good squad.
Did you say something? Did you say yours, man?
Yeah.
Oh, you said team?
Well, I said it's so hard because I said I want a team, but I got to make sure my squad can hang. So if I cannot make sure I have a good squad with me, then I'm going single player.
Got it. So we got our open topics coming up. Joe, you got a little more time for us?
Yeah, sure.
Good. Okay. All right. This is what I was going to bring up earlier. We got we down that shoe aisle again. We got Lego and Adidas.
Ooh.
Collabo. The only problem is it's for the kiddos. It's not for us. They have kid sizes only. They got shoes. They got gear that's Lego-esque. And my little heart is broken. But what I'm going to do, what I thought about it before we went on live, I'm going to buy the baby sizes and put it in my on my rearview mirror in my car.
Just hang.
But they got the Adidas X Lego Sport Junior shoes. They got a blue pair. They got a red pair. And for the infant sizes, they got yellow. Prices from $80 down to $52 to the infant sizes. I think it's a little pricey for an infant.
That's dope. I gotta get my daughter a pair of these.
There you go. Somebody in the house will be copping them.
I sent that link.
Yeah.
You see it, Joey?
Yeah, I seen it. It looks dope.
Yeah.
I wish they would have made adult sizes. These are dope.
That's what I'm saying too.
When I saw $80, I said I'm about to cop it right now. And then 7.5. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a
5Y.
right. Right, like no.
And so for me this week, it's really cool because over in Japan, Universal Studios has a Super Nintendo World. Now it was supposed to open last week, but due to COVID, that has gotten pushed back and everything. But they have let people into the park and they have filmed their experience and they put it out online. So there's a bunch of really cool videos that I will post up on our social media channels after the podcast today. But one thing to keep in mind when you watch these videos, okay, when you're actually going through the park, you're going to be wearing glasses that is going to enhance everything, kind of like
a 3D glasses. Like a 3D glasses.
Yeah, kind of like 3D glasses, if you will. Dope. But the ride that they're talking about the most is called Koopa's Challenge, and it's kind of like the Mario Kart Live home circuit. If I don't think any of us here got that game,
I want it so bad.
A red shell all day.
Yeah,
red shell.
Boom. There you go.
That's the heat-seeking one.
Yeah, but the main ride, the highlight ride, Koopa's Challenge, is a lot like that. It's a mixture of real-world obstacles and alternate reality gimmicks, which puts riders right in the middle of one of the series' iconic go-kart races on a much larger scale. So that's really cool. I'm going to send out those links on Twitter, Instagram, AG_Gamers Lounge. So that's what I really found cool this week.
And we have to take the podcast
to Japan.
That park looks awesome, and that ride, even you can't see it like you said through the glasses. There's a video there, like a 20-minute YouTube video. That just looks fun. Yeah. Like, how much fun is that, man? We have to go to Japan to go do it.
I'll be living out a childhood dream.
I hope they bring that to Orlando.
Universal Studios, why not?
Yeah, and it's crazy. I just hope they don't make a Rainbow Road track. That's all. Don't make it Rainbow Road, please.
So trippy that would be too.
That would not be good
Oh
No.
for a lot of people.
So my story of the week, we all know about Cyberpunk 2077 and all the issues it's had, and now they have some more issues at CD Projekt Red. They've been hacked. Hackers have stolen the source code for the game. They actually left like a ransom file note for CD Projekt Red to look at, saying that, you know, we're going to leak this online, all your documents. They said that your public image will go down the toilet even more. They don't use that
Their
word.
words.
Our words, not theirs. And CD Projekt Red's like, we're not doing that. We're already backing up all our content and everything like that. But I was just like, for something, and you still, like you said, you're still playing Cyberpunk 2077, but for all the refunds and everything, like, it just gets worse and worse as they got hacked.
Man, I'm like, this is like one of their missions. It's like one of the missions in the game where you're hacking something. It's like Mel Gibson in the movie Ransom, you know.
Yeah.
His son getting snatched up and they want millions of dollars.
Well,
you know, it's like, wow.
We've talked about this in previous episodes of the podcast, but how are you as a production company this unprepared for the launch of one of your biggest titles ever? I don't even want to hear COVID-19 as an excuse.
Right.
Great question. Great question.
I don't get it. It's frustrating.
Like, it's Warner Brothers. Like, how does Warner Brothers let this happen? Like,
yeah, it's a great point.
That's even better question. I mean, they are the one conglomerate next to Disney that usually has a stronghold on licensing, on things like this, you know, where they don't get hacked. They're if there's leaking going on, they're the one doing the leaking out of information or previews or code, like it is, because they're in the video game world too. You know, between Cyberpunk, they've done Mortal Kombat and other games with the same, you know, with great franchise following behind them. So it's just interesting, and great questions by you both, Joey and Ben there. So, all right, want to take us to what's on screen?
Row, row, row your boat gently up the... sorry, excuse me. It's time for What's on Stream.
So I'm delving back into my wheelhouse. We got horror movie. We got current events. We got a movie called Body Cam with Mary J. Blige, old school R&B singer, now turned actress, Umbrella Company as well. So I'm liking, she's working her acting chops. I'm loving it. And so she plays a police officer down in Swinton, Louisiana, where there's been some, as like I said, current events going on in the world today. You know, crooked coppery going on down in her police department. And so she does. So it was one cop that goes on a routine stop. And in the results of he has an unexplained grisly death. He's ripped apart, his teeth, or just everything. It looked like he exploded. And so the cop, so she realizes, so Mary J. Blige's character realizes that, you know, they all had the body cam footage of the incident, and it replays, and she sees it. She's the first to see it for her eyes only. And then then it's another attack, then another attack. So then all these officers that basically were a part of this big cover up are the ones getting taken out by a supernatural presence. So basically, I say a little bit of spoiler alert here is that the victim of a police brutality crime is now haunting them and taking care of business. As we see in horror movies, we see this in horror movies when somebody gets killed and then that comes back and take care of business to the ones that were the perpetrators or the evil beings or whoever that did the murder. So we see this is on Body Cam. Body Cam movie came out in May of 2020. I don't know how I missed this, but I caught it now. It's on Prime Video, and my man Joey, he's a horror guy too, and some of his compadres. So this is right up their alley too. So check it out. Body Cam, Mary J. Blige on Prime Video.
Yeah, for me, I'm still on WandaVision, which we basically talked about already. So that's my What's on Stream.
Yeah, I love it. Just every week, Ben's like, WandaVision.
Come on, Ben.
Well, and then half the time you guys yell at me claiming I'm spoiling
well,
the
then,
episode.
yeah, but then you have to ahead of time. Like, hey, in case you haven't seen the episode yet, here's what happens at the end. A spoiler alert would be just saying. I watched Fake Famous on HBO Max.
I heard that's good. I heard that's really good.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. It's basically they follow 3 LA-based people. This group of producers or filmmakers puts out an ad, said, hey, who wants to be famous? They get a bunch of people, they interview them, and then they work on exploring how to turn someone famous through social media. So that's purchasing followers. And once you start purchasing followers, you got to start purchasing likes and comments. And they go through all that and what it takes just to produce the content, and what sometimes you see from some social media influencers may not be always, what it's cracked up to be, I guess, but it's pretty interesting. And one of them becomes pretty well known with a bunch of followers, and she starts getting like all this free stuff and all this. It's pretty cool, and it's really, really interesting. I'd recommend it. HBO Max, Fake Famous.
Sounds like a social experiment.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you streaming anything, Joey?
Just WandaVision right now, and then I want to check out this new series on Netflix called The Magician.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think I'm gonna peep that. But I want to check out Fake Famous too. I actually had a friend talk to me about that the other day.
Yeah, I just previewed it just a couple days ago. That looks interesting. I'm gonna check it out, guys. All right, take us game releases.
Release the games. It's time for the game releases. Game releases.
So, like I forebode in the beginning of the show, going back to my past, my childhood here, going into Super Mario 3D Worlds plus Bowser's Fury. As you know, Bowser is the antagonist. Super Mario and Luigi are the protagonists. They're the heroes. But you got Luigi, you got Mario, and you got Princess Peach that you can team up with multiple players, explore the 3D world of Super Mario and the turtles, the Koopas, the getting the coins, and then in the plus battle Bowser, he is now this almost Godzilla-like size Bowser that he is not happy. He's breathing fire and laser beams out of his mouth, kind of like Godzilla there. The games come out February 12th, so here in a couple days. So you could team up. You could have, how sometimes you could get little character beings. You become a cat. You could do cat-like moves and help you, get through the map and break down the walls or climb up the wall a little bit faster because you got them cat claws,
Yep.
So you can have a whole team of cats. All y'all could be in a cat outfit. You, Peach, and Luigi. So check it out. It's on Nintendo Switch, out in a couple days, along with Bowser's Fury. I'm gonna have to copy it because it's one of them games that got me going with Super Mario Brothers back in the day on the NES. So now on the Switch, Bowser's World or Bowser's Fury and Super Mario 3D Worlds. Check it out.
There's not a ton of games that are either coming out this week or have already come out, but one that caught my eye was Rover Wars Battle for Mars. It comes out on February 12th on the Xbox, but you jump straight into action with your little rover and you start to build factories and you hurt enemy units. The tactics in the game are in resource management and the placement of factories, and these factories poop out minions that will find their way to enemy facilities and destroy them. And once you do that to all of your enemies' bases, you win. Pretty simple, but it's cool too because it's set obviously on Mars, like the title kind of lays out there, and then you kind of bounce around between different planets. The moon's involved too. So Rover Wars Battle for Mars due on February 12th on Xbox.
All right, my game release this week, Little Nightmares 2, PC, PS4, Xbox, and Switch coming out this week. It's a suspense adventure game in which you play as Mono, a young boy trapped in a world that has been distorted by an evil transmission. And together they got a new friend, Six. He sets out to discover the source of the transmission. So Little Nightmares 2, that one caught my eye this week, and just looking at some of the gameplay in the trailer, it looks really kind of creepy, kind of cool. And so Little Nightmares 2 is my pick.
Yeah. A little oddball game there.
Yeah.
Joey, anything new? I know you said 2K, you're grinding on that. Anything else out there that you're playing?
I'm a big fan of the Hitman 3. I'm actually playing that right now. I've been streaming that a few times. Agent 47, just, up to Agent 47 things, just out here trying to keep a low profile while getting that contract right. You know what I mean? And getting this little assassination going on.
Oh, yeah. What's your favorite assassination move? Gun, knife, little pin, choke people out with?
Yeah, I'm sneaky, man. I'm sneaky. But I've actually been liking throwing the knife lately, like on my when I got my contract. So That's visually been my go-to lately. But I'm kind of a sneaky attack. Sniper's always cool. Actually, I like a certain mode in that game. There's a certain mode. I think it was in the second one that it's also in the third one now too. That I need to unlock is the sniper game mode where you got to like pick off like. I think you got like 5 or 6 targets that you have to like take out without being like recognized. Whereas if they know that there's a sniper, they start running and they can't exit the area. If they do, obviously you lose.
Right. Oh, can't wait. It's on my birthday list. My birthday's next week, so I got Hitman 3 on that list.
Nice.
That sounds.
And it's on the Switch too.
exciting.
They added it to the
That's
Switch.
a game changer. Right?
Yeah.
All right, man. Wow, I can't wait for that game.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Looks fun, and I appreciate it. So, Joey, Franchize,
Sir.
thank you for coming on the show today. It's been an outstanding conversation. We had fun finding out the fun things that you've done, that you're doing, and the games that you've been in, the sets you've done with the entertainers out there in the world. So I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come on our show and hang out a little bit in the Gamers Lounge.
Nah, I appreciate y'all having me, man. It's love for real, and we got to get you on one of our podcasts too in return. Bring the whole gang down.
For sure, definitely. We're gonna make that happen, and then I'm give a little preview out for next week for everybody tuning in to the podcast on Twitch now, and that's gonna be live later on this week.
Yeah.
We have OG King Kirk joins us next week. He's an on-air caster, motivational speaker, and an esports entrepreneur. He's actually the head coach and GM of Nets Gaming, the Brooklyn Nets NBA 2K franchise league team there. And then we're going to have a brand new This or That games again from new releases from the week. We'll talk about that. And then all the top trending stories in the world of esports and competitive gaming. And then our socials. Ben,
Yeah.
you want to do that one?
Sure, I can handle that.
You
You
can
can
handle
handle,
that?
your own. I'm gonna handle a podcast, okay? AG_Gamers Lounge, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. That's where you'll find us. And also, you can find this podcast wherever you get your podcast. But we're going to steer you to Apple Podcasts. Really would appreciate a rate and review. You do that for us. We're going to be able to do so many more cool things with this podcast. Maybe go to Japan, to Super Nintendo World, or Nintendo World, whatever it's called. So
New
please
York, Tampa.
rate.
What?
Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Much appreciated.
Yep. And then follow me on Twitter, Instagram at AhmanGreen30, all one word. And also this Twitch channel is Ahman Green TV, but it's also tagged along and simulcast on AG_Gamers Lounge.
Yes, sir.
And that is also on the social out there. And then Facebook gaming as well. YouTube as well. We're kind of everywhere. We're like the old school horror movie, The Blob. We're just everywhere. It's just creating, taking territory, taking land, taking airspace.
And what about Joey? Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on everything from Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, at Joey Franchize with a Z, joeyfranchise.com, and also on Joey Franchize on YouTube as well.
Cool. All right. Thanks for having me, Joey. And everybody, again, thanks for jumping in and enjoying our show. See you guys next week.
Appreciate you guys.
We off.